Raymond Carver and Derrida's Zombie Army, written by James Fitzmaurice. Raymond Carver and Derrida's Zombie Army. Visuals and sound for credits. Stills of corrugated tin married student housing from the University of Iowa in the 1960s. Music from the 1960s gradually overcomes the sound of a violent snowstorm. Interior, married student apartment, kitchen, living room, night. Raymond Carver is waiting for his wife to return from work as a waitress. Carver wears a gray Cal tee, jeans, and tennis shoes. The tee is of the same sort as was worn by Kevin Costner in Field of Dreams. Carver is sitting alone at the typewriter. He rolls up a piece of paper in the platen, leans into the machine, and reads to himself, mumbling audibly. Pulls out the paper, rises, and paces slowly.
Bitch. Bitch. Bitch! Why are all my female characters bitches? No, just wife female characters. Not all female characters, just wife female characters.
Walks to the fridge, rummages around. Voice becomes moderately annoyed, even angry. A dish of butter falls on the floor. He puts it back.
Old Milwaukee. Why do I buy this crap? That woman is 2 hours overdue. Fuck, butterfuck.
Extracts an old Milwaukee beer and walks to the kitchen counter, opens the bottle. Is about to drink when the door to the bathroom opens and out comes Lois, a young and pretty University of Iowa student in jeans and an Iowa sweatshirt.
I've read all of your short stories. I am in love with your stories. By the way, you're an alkie.
Carver is startled, but also curious.
Who are you?
Lois smiles coyly.
Aren't you going to ask me how I got in here? How I came to be in your toilet?
Carver is mildly flabbergasted, but attracted to her.
I suppose I could. How did you get in here?
Aren't you going to get me one too? A beer, Mr. Carver? Ray? I'm not an alkie. By the way, where's Maryann? You know, the bitch. I'm Lois. University of Iowa, CW student, CW, that's creative writing. Oh, you already know.
Carver jumps slightly as he hears Maryann's name.
Working late waitress at the student union.
Lois walks closer and takes the beer he's gotten for her. Signals to him to sit at the kitchen table. Both sit.
So, Ray, to return to the task at hand, your writing. You've been thinking very mistakenly that you were a forklift driver in a Northern California lumberyard. Believe me, I love the fiction that you could write, but not what you're writing now.
Lois moves in closer and is openly flirtatious.
And you need to shorten things up. Those sentences are dreadfully long right now.
Carver looks at her in disbelief.
Don't get mad. And forget about Maryann. I'm your new writing partner.
Carver isn't angry. He's under her spell.
Okay, so right now you're lost in the woods, filling fish ponds with fingerling trout near the quaint little village of Eureka. What you need to do to escape is to deconstruct, to demythologize your characters. But what happens is that you make new myths by deconstructing. It's an infinite regress made up of new layers of myth, an abyss of meaning. Peel back the layers of the onion and you will take your writing to a new level.
Lois zeroes in on Carver intellectually.
So I got all this in my lit class. I take lit and CW. You know Gayatri Spivak, my lit teacher? Ray, now listen carefully to what I got from her. As you peel that theoretical onion, removing the layers one by one, you will never get to the end. The end you seek, that which you hope to be present to you, is always going to be out of reach. That's it, absent. As a maxim, the only presence is the presence of absence. Gayatri said, Jacques Derrida, read Derrida.
Carver is besotted, speaks first to Lois and then to himself.
Tell me about the presence of absence. Maryann can stay put for just a while longer. Nice and warm at Kenny's friendly local tavern, some guy buying her a drink. Vern, restaurant manager, king of the waitresses.
Lois takes Carver by the hand and leads him to the bedroom door. They enter, close the door. Interior, kitchen, living room, night. Sound of the storm. Montana Wildhack opens the outside door and enters. She's wearing a short blue pastel sci-fi dress. Slightly annoyed, she speaks to herself while examining the furniture.
I should have had the Tralfamadorians check the settings of the teleporter. A slack bunch of space aliens, if ever there was. And next time I will look at the weather report before I leave the planet. Still, getting out of the zoo on Tralfamador was worth the bad coordinates. Plus, I can go shopping again in Iowa City.
Interior, kitchen, living room, night. Carver emerges from the bedroom looking jaded. Wildhack knows what has happened in the bedroom.
I hope you enjoyed yourself, Ray.
Carver is not to be made the butt of teasing.
I don't know who you are, your name, but I do know that you came in from the bathroom.
Wildhack laughs.
No, that was Lois. I'm Montana Wildhack, your colleague Kurt Vonnegut Jr. I'm one of his characters. Pardon the costume. It was his idea, not mine.
Carver catches on, remarks sarcastically.
One of his characters escaped into an Iowa snowstorm. I've read Pirandello, and there is something better, Derrida. You've got to tell Vonnegut about the presence of absence, the abyss of the onion.
Wildhack looks at Carver in horror.
No, stay away from that pig swill, Old Milwaukee, as much as you want. No Jacques Derrida. Theory is prion disease. It will turn the rims of your eyes red and put a green tinge in your face. Do you want to become a zombie?
Lois emerges from the bedroom. The rims of her eyes are red, face tinged green.
It's too late, he's infected. The change comes soon. And you will be a zombie too, Mistress Montana Wildhack. Also soon. Derrida will take over sci-fi. No more galactic battles. No more photon torpedoes. Theory. Only Derridian theory. In your case, Therians can be costumes.
Wildhack rises to the occasion.
So you're the great Tralfamadorian apostate, the Typhon Mary of deconstruction. You don't care about little Raymond here. You're out to get Vonnegut. To infect the whole sci-fi writing.
Lois speaks to Wildhack with spine-chilling self-confidence.
Typhoid Mary? And this is a church picnic? No sandwiches for us. We eat brains. A zombie theory army is on the march.
Lois takes a breath and announces with great confidence.
Down the swirling rabbit hole, Montana. My name is Mise on a Beam. You cannot resist.
Long pause as Wildhack appears to waver, recovers herself.
Mise on a beam? Missing eye beam? This is deconstruction. Missing eye beams. Take away this structural steel. The construction falls apart. You're a grade B movie monster in bad makeup. You're an escape from the second feature of a double feature.
Carver becomes incoherent, non sequitur, pulls out a kitchen chair, sits, speaks to an empty chair in front of him.
The little wife who isn't there, she's not sitting on this chair. I do not pour her out some gin. The little wife who should have been.
Wildhack is happy at this turn of events with Carver. Carver begins to become himself again.
Getting back your sense of humor. Throwing off the prion disease.
Now, the presence of absence, that's a good phrase, memorable. And it can be made to mean something, not infinite regress, no abyss, no onion, definite meaning. Definite meaning.
Better and better yet, Ray. You are in the process of putting a stopper into the great swirling vortex of the famed abyss of meaning, plugging the rabbit hole.
Wildhack turns to Lois.
So much for Jacques Derrida, little lady.
Lois is not amused.
Little lady, now that's a bit naff, isn't it?
Wildhack laughs.
The bit about being the great Tralfamadorian apostate doesn't quite work. Close, almost good enough, but acting? That was acting by an undergraduate drama student on exchange from London.
So there is no great Tralfamadorian apostate.
There is one, but it ain't Lois.
Wildhack takes time to explain to the much confused Carver.
A red-eyed Derridian theory junkie would never say naff, or in it. Lois, perhaps you can tell us a little more about yourself. Peel back another onion's layer of your identity.
Lois is not offended, rather is pleased with herself. She removes eye and face makeup using tissues on the kitchen counter.
You were all convinced for a good long time. And that shows I can do American accents with the best of them. I can also be a sci-fi Lady Macbeth, the great Tralfamadorian apostate. I have that American accent down better than Hugh Laurie.
Sound of tires on gravel outside. Everyone looks at one another. Wildhack speaks to Carver.
Is that Maryann's car on the gravel? You're ever loving? If so, we have a problem. The Tralfamadorians haven't set up the time travel so that we can meet her. A paradox might happen. Not good. Lois isn't going to be crowded, but both of us into the bathroom.
The two squeeze into the bathroom. Interior, kitchen, living room, night. Carver, nearly in tears, is sitting with his head in his hands at the kitchen table. Maryann enters. She carries a shopping bag. Her eyes are red-rimmed and face tinged with green.
What are you all mopey about?
Carver looks up, remembers to be angry.
Tell me about your presence of absence. Your absence from here with Vern. Yes, it was Vern.
Vern, bless his dear little heart, drove his car off the road into a snowy ditch near the picturesque Iowa town of Kelowna. Who needs Vern anyway?
Your face gives it away. You met this other guy, this Jacques, this French theory guy.
What if I did? Your spies called to report?
Carver rises and goes to the bathroom, speaks through the door.
Montana, I need your services. I'll take my chances with paradoxes. Get out here.
Interior kitchen, living room, night. Wildhack appears from the bathroom, takes a look at Maryann, who now becomes quiet and watchful.
This is the real McCoy, Ray. That ain't makeup.
What do we do? What do I do? What has happened to my wife? Is she in it? The zombie theory army.
It's theory, all right. Derrida himself did this. Wait it out. She'll recover. But let's start with a drink. Always the best beginning. Lois, come on out.
Lois comes out of the bathroom and runs her finger along Maryann's cheekbone, looks at the finger.
Real thing, no makeup.
Carver is at the same time getting a bottle of gin out of the kitchen cupboard along with tonic, ice and a lime from the fridge. Maryann now speaks to Carver. She touches his arm and is affectionate.
Yes, Ray. Gin. I want something with Bombay gin. Pour some out. For me.
What Montana calls the real thing turns to makeup if you let it go for a while. Seems permanent at first, but if it's not attended to, it just fades away.
Carver and Maryann sit at the table and smile lovingly at one another, sip the gin and tonics.
Looking at those two sweeties, I figure we are okay. My job is finished here. Lois, want to see Tralfamador? Quick stop to pick up some furniture at the Corville Mall, then off we go.
Lois nods approval. Wildhack and Lois enter the bathroom. Carver pours another GT.
Our guests are gone, and you are on the mend. I am on the mend. Our marriage is on the mend. We are alone, just us at last.
Phone rings. Maryann gets it.
That was Jack, the guy we talked about, the French guy. I invited him over for a late supper.
She picks up the shopping bag, carries it to the kitchen counter. First takes out a head of cauliflower and runs her finger across her cheek.
Cauliflower. Not quite what I wanted, but close. And this stuff, sometimes it just doesn't wash off. Ever.
Credits over stills of corrugated tin married student housing. Sound during credits, 1960s music, gives way to the sound of a howling snowstorm.